Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Pep Talk podcast. It's your host, Izzy Ross. Welcome back to the second official episode. I am so glad once again to have you here. I hope we all liked the first episode. I've gotten some good feedback, and I'm just so happy to be recording again and to be hanging out with you guys. I've had a lot of people reach out to me saying that they would love to collab, and so I want you guys to know that it is in the works. You will be hearing from some of my favorite people, some very special people, and I'm just so excited. I have some exciting news that has to go along with today's episode. I am now an aunt times 3. You heard it. I have another niece, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, she's so adorable. I've yet to meet her, unfortunately. With my work schedule, I'm not able to meet my little baby niece till next week. But hey, at least she doesn't live across the country. You know? Along with that, today's episode is going to be about something very special, something very near and dear to my heart, and I'm hoping yours as well. We're going to be talking about family. Now, I know you're probably thinking, how on earth can you make a whole podcast episode about family? I have a lot of topics to be talked about today. We're going from one end of the spectrum to the other. So we're just going to jump right into it. As I mentioned before, I come from a mixed family. Yes, I do. I come from my amazing parents, my mom and my dad, obviously. Unfortunately, they did get divorced, but that's okay. That's okay. It was better that way, and we'll take a little deep dive into that. Well, maybe not deep. Don't need the whole world knowing the ins and outs of that situation. But we're going to be talking about my ginormous, amazing, beautiful families because I just love them so much. So I have two halves of a family, right? So we're going to take a little dive into my dad's side. On my dad's side, there is 5 of us. There's my dad, my stepmom, my older sister, me, and my younger sister. So on this side, I have I have 2 sisters. My older sister, Haley, she is my stepsister. We'll get into what that means because I know some people get a little confused. Don't worry. I've had to explain this multiple times, so I'm basically a pro at this. So I have my older sister, Haley, who's my stepsister. She is 6 years older than me. And then I have my little sister, Lexi. Hi, Lexi, who is 5 years younger than me. So we're right smack dab in the middle of the family, which, hey, that can have some ups and downs. We'll get to talking about being a middle child because it is just a special kind of person, I guess, to be a middle child. It's definitely an experience, I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. So basically, I'm going to explain what a step sibling is and what a half sibling is. So a step sibling is somebody that you are not blood related to. So for example, my dad got remarried and my stepmom had a daughter from a previous marriage. Okay? And so, therefore, we are stepsisters. We're not blood related, but we're technically, air quote, sisters. But let me tell you, I consider Haley like my other half. Basically, I have never really thought of her as somebody that's not related to me, essentially. She is my big sister. She's the best big sister. I'm so blessed to have her, and our childhood was literally the best. When I think of my childhood at my dad's house, I think of all of me and Haley's little extravagances, and then when my little sister joined, I just think of how rowdy and crazy our house got. So basically, that is what a stepsister is. Or a step sibling. Somebody that's not blood related to you, but is your step parent's child from a previous marriage or not marriage, relationship, whatever. And then a half sibling is basically what it sounds like. It is my dad and my stepmom's child. So we're like half blood related. You get me? Because she's related to my dad, I'm related to my dad, blah, blah, blah. Couldn't tell you the DNA XYZ of that because guess what? Your girl's not a scientist. Shocker, I know. My parents got divorced when I was really young, so I was about a year old, I think. So it's literally all I've ever known, so I don't need your pity. It's okay. But both of my parents, both my mom and my dad, both got remarried when I was about 2 years old. They got married around the same time. So literally this is all I've ever known. Like, my stepmom and my stepsister Haley and my little sister Lexi, like, that is a family that I've always known and always will consider my family. My stepmom's side of the family, like, her family is my family, even though I am the stepchild. Like, that is my family, and I'm so blessed to have such a giant, big support system, and they've always treated me like their own. And I am so forever grateful for that. So, like I said earlier, I am an aunt times 3, and we're gonna talk about becoming an aunt because I have never felt such a joy in my life that is to be an aunt. Being an aunt is one of the greatest things on this earth. I remember when my sister first got married, I immediately was like, when are you having kids? Because I need a little baby right now. I need a little baby to hang out with when I come over and have sleepovers. Like, when are you having kids? Obviously, they weren't going to have kids as soon as they got married. I know that's some people, but wasn't in their plan. So I remember sending my sister Haley so many like TikToks and reels about becoming an aunt, having a baby, the joys, the love, everything, just how amazing our lives would be, how awesome our family would be with another little chickling running around, you know? So, the day I found out that I was becoming an aunt, I don't think I've ever, like, explained this story to her, I guess. So, Haley, if you're listening, hello. So, basically, I'm at my dad's house. I remember being on the phone with one of my friends in the office, and my little sister Lexi was also in there with me. And Haley comes over, and she came over quite frequently, and I'm sitting in the office on my phone with my sister. Haley comes in and she throws these t-shirts at me and Lexi. And I was like, what the heck? Like, kind of normal for her to throw things at us. That was just the type of thing. Like, we were throwing stuff at each other all the time. So we pick up the t-shirt, and I remember Lexi getting up, running, and crying. And I was like, whoa, why is she crying? I pick up the t-shirt, and it says, badass auntie is. I cannot explain that feeling to anybody, but as in your heart drops, but in the best way. I was so excited. Beyond words. I remember getting up, running to her. We're all crying. She had made a t-shirt for every single one of us in our family. My dad was yet to be home yet. I remember my stepmom, Amanda, like, not believing her. Because I'm pretty sure a year prior, they had pranked my dad with, like, a fake ultrasound gift for Christmas. It was hilarious. He immediately was like, you're joking? But I remember Amanda not, like, fully believing it. She was like, there's no way. And Haley was like, there is a way. It's real. And we were like, oh my gosh. I wonder how Dad's gonna take this. But I remember all of us just, like, standing there crying, like, so exciting. And it was just such a wonderful moment. And then my dad gets home from work. She does the same thing, but we're all, like, we kind of all hide our t-shirts or whatever. Or we might have been wearing them. I don't remember. I think we might have been hiding them. He walks in, she throws the t-shirt, and he like sets it down. And we're like, no, Dad, look at the t-shirt. He picks it up, and I can't remember what his shirt said, but obviously he had said something similar to mine and everybody else's. And I remember him being like, haha, funny. And we're all staring at him like, no, Dad, this is real. And Haley's like laughing. And he was like, there's no way. Because I remember he would always tell her, you have to wait till I'm 40. You have to wait till I'm 40. That was her rule. And he was past the age of 40. And so he was like, there's no way. There's no way. Obviously, it was true. Months down the line, gender reveal party. She ended up having a girl. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. That day felt amazing. We all wore our badass aunt shirts. It was great. It was just a wonderful experience for all of us. It definitely made our family a lot closer. The funny thing is my dad has always joked about how he's surrounded by all girls and my sister's husband is the only male in the family. So it was funny because he was really hoping for a boy. I think we were all wanting a girl except for him. He wanted another boy in the family. But he wasn't that lucky that day. And I actually love having an all-girl family over there. It's so much fun, and I love teasing our dad about it. And honestly, he's such a good girl dad, and so is my brother-in-law. He's such a good girl dad. So, obviously, my sister has the baby. She was the most adorable baby I've ever seen. I remember going in and just being like, there's no way my sister created a literal human child. Like, I'm gonna get emotional talking about this, but watching your older sister become a mom is so incredible. Like, watching her grow up from being a teenager, I remember her, like, pranking me into smelling her farts. And I remember her being like, don't tell mom and dad I'm texting this boy. Like, and then to watch her get married and then to watch her become a mom is something that I am so glad that I got to witness. And I am so glad that I was there to, just witness all of this. And I remember going and meeting my baby niece. I remember being starstruck. It was so emotional watching my dad hold her. I was like, holy crap, my dad's a grandpa? That's insane. Also, I forgot to mention, this was my junior year, so I was 17. Yeah, I was 17 when I became an aunt. Oh my gosh, she was just a bundle of joy. And then watching her grow up, my sister at the time lived by us, so I was constantly over there. I literally could not get enough of her. To this day, cannot get enough of her. And my other niece, and soon to be my other one. Oh my goodness. I love being an aunt. Any chance I had to be over there, to be watching her, I was there. Also, there is, oh my goodness, nothing else like walking in and their face brightening up and being like, oh my goodness, Izzy! Hi, Izzy! Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm gonna cry. It's amazing. It's amazing. And then they grow up. They have their first birthday. It's insane. Why are they getting older every year? And then my sister finds out she's having another one. Insane. And, you guys, I will wear the badge of honor. I was the first to find out about her second little girl. Ah! I was the first. Amazing experience. I remember her passing me her phone, and it was a picture of my niece holding a pregnancy test, and I was like, there's no way. And I was hanging out with her, and she was like, yeah, we're actually heading to the doctor's office right now to go check up on baby. And I was like, no way. Yeah, that was a pretty special moment. So, and then my second niece came, and she was the chunkiest little baby ever. I freaking love her to death. She's so funny. She is such a diva, as is my other one. They both are divas, but the second little girl was a diva. She was a chunky little monkey. That's what I call her, my chunky monkey. And now she's 2. Like, that's insane. That's insane. But that is my experience as being an aunt. Obviously, my other niece is here, and I could not be more happy for my sister. And I am just so beyond proud of her and my brother-in-law and the amazing children that they have brought into this world. I'm gonna cry thinking about it. So that is my experience on being an aunt. And I hope that everybody gets to experience either being an aunt or an uncle. Like, just having a niece or a nephew is one of the greatest joys ever. And now I'm thinking that if you're an only child, I hope that you are close with friends that seem like family and you get to be an aunt or an uncle. But come on, we know this is a girly podcast, so that you get to be an aunt. Yes. Find a friend, find a cousin. Like, everybody needs to experience this. It's insane. Okay, now I'm gonna kind of segue into being an older sister and segueing into my mom's side of the family. So, on my mom's side, she also got remarried when I was around 2. And I have a stepsister on my mom's side. It's my stepdad's daughter, who's actually a month older than me. So she is like my other big sister. But I also have 2 little brothers, Wrigley and Paxton. And I just wanted to talk about being an older sibling. So my half-sister on my dad's side and my half-brother on my mom's side are about the same age. And then my younger brother is a year or 2 younger than them. I'm going to be so honest. Watching my siblings grow up is literally the most insane thing. And I cannot tell you how old they are sometimes because I literally forget. And I still think in my head that they're like 3 years old. But definitely not. And it's insane watching them grow up. I remember growing up and with my little sister, Lexi. I will be so honest. Having a house full of girls isn't as pink and pretty and amazing as everybody probably thinks it is. It was crazy, and I will tell you why. Because having all 3 girls, we're dramatic, we're emotional, we don't know how to handle things. I can't share my Barbie that I just got with you. You want my stuffed animal? I don't think so. You want to play with that, like, doll? I don't think so. You want to watch My Little Pony? Well, guess what? I want to watch Bratz. So, too bad, so sad. Oh, Haley's watching Grey's Anatomy? Can't be in the basement. Yeah, I will tell you. Having all girls isn't as amazing as you think because we're all arguing all the time. I will say, me and my little sister, being an older sister was definitely hard for me because I love you, Lexi. She was a crazy child. She was a crazy child. And I remember us not getting along very well. And I will say, getting older, it's really hard to get along with your younger siblings. And I know some people may not have that struggle. Some people may have that struggle. I am one of them. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if anybody else experiences this, but I have a lot of guilt about being an older sibling and maybe not being the best older sister or the best role model or literally just like not being nice to them, I guess. Like, obviously we're not always going to be nice to our siblings. Like, I just think that that's something that everybody experiences, whether you're the older or the younger sibling. We can all be a little rude sometimes, okay? Even though sometimes we don't want to admit it, we can all be a little rude. So I feel like, me personally, I carry a lot of guilt, and I did grow up as a people pleaser, and it's something that I'm working on for sure. Um, but I had such a hard time, and I still do to this day, like not being more involved in their lives and not being like I don't know how to describe it, but I think not being in their lives as much is the perfect way to describe it. Totally sidetrack. I have ADD. I'm looking at my closet, and why do I see my boyfriend's shoe mark on my closet wall? Why is there a perfect outline of his shoe on my wall? When did that happen? Anyways, he will definitely be cleaning that. I just feel bad because obviously I'm the older sibling. Like, at my mom's house, obviously my stepsister Quinn, who is a month older than me, she was there, but I lived there full time at my mom's house, and she came over. She got the visitation stuff, you know. If you're a divorced child, do you understand? Because I would go to my dad's as a visitation. Anyways, schedules are different. But I was there more with my younger brothers. So sometimes it felt like I was the oldest child, and with me and her being so close in age, we would say we were twins. We like to tease people and say that we're twins. But no, we're thithers. Sidetrack again, when we were young, people would always ask, "Oh, are you guys twins?" And Quinn, she had a lisp, and she would go, "No, we're thithers." So we call each other that now. But anyways, with us being so close in age, it definitely felt like I was an older sibling, even though she's a month older than me. Anyways, it has been hard to navigate how to feel about having guilt about not being more involved in their life, because I don't, like, I've obviously never done this before. And growing up, being older than them, having my own life, my own experiences. Like, me and my younger brother, Wrigley, we're 5 years apart. Like, we're not that close in age. So obviously, I'm in a completely different stage in life than what he is. Like, right now, I'm 20 years old. I have a full-time job. I just moved out. He's 15. He's starting high school in August. Like, first of all, that's insane. I was a sophomore yesterday. What do you mean my little brother is gonna be a sophomore? Like, that's insane. Along with my little sister Lexi, she's gonna be a sophomore. I feel so old, and also so incredibly, like, not like a sad, like a happy sad. My little siblings are growing up. You know? Anyways. And then my other brother, Paxton, he is going into 8th grade. Like, I don't know if anybody else struggles with this, but it's like, it's hard. You know? Like, I I moved out, so obviously I'm not there all the time, but also when I did live there, it's so hard to, like, I guess I had a busy schedule, or at least I made myself busy to have time to hang out with them, but also it's hard because it's like, when I was 18, what was I gonna do with an 11-year-old? You know? I know how awful that might sound, and I'm literally getting guilty talking about it right now. Like, I hope you guys can relate to this, and I'm not just a selfish little brat. Like, I promise you I hung out with my siblings, and I love them so much. Obviously, or else I wouldn't be talking about this. Like, it was just, I remember, like, when we were kids, yeah, we would all play together, but all of us growing up, it definitely is harder to find things that we have in common, that we like. But with me moving out, I've kind of made it a priority to go hang out with them. My little brothers, they love video games. So lately we've been playing Jackbox, which is like an online game. It's so fun and I love playing with them. Um Definitely I'm going to try get them out for the summer. I want to go play pickleball with them. Yeah, it's something I'm working on, and I need to spend more time with my with my little sister, with my little brothers. Like I need to make it a priority. And sometimes family can be a hard priority for me at least. I don't know if anybody else deals with that, but it's so hard navigating it for the first time. Like me being moved out has been so hard, not being with my family constantly, not having my mom with me constantly. If I need something, my mom's right there. And it's not that anymore. Like, even if I was at home laying in bed doing nothing, like, my family was there. My brothers were there. I could hear them. Like, it wasn't a quiet house. And then, now I moved out. Yes, I have roommates, but it's quiet. Like, it feels like no one's here. And it's lonely, you guys. I miss my family. Like, I miss my family big time. Both sides. Both sides for sure. Like, oh. Anyways, I don't know if any of you have experienced that, being an older sibling. But I have, but I'm also a people pleaser, and it's something I'm working through. Another thing about having a mixed family is we all kind of have different last names, which is so hard to explain to some people because, like, oh, we're related, but we have a different last name. Like, me and my brothers, we have a different last name, but we're related. We're not fully related, but we're related. With my sister, we have the same last name because she's my dad's child, so therefore we have our dad's last name. My older stepsister, we didn't have the same last name. We've never had the same last name. But a little side note, last summer me and her got a tattoo. We got an R for my last name, Ross, and basically her last name because yes, she grew up with my dad as her dad, essentially. We got a little R in our dad's handwriting for our last name, Ross. So cute. So that way we always have that, like, little reminder, you know? But I love that tattoo. It's so cute. But anyways, like, yeah, it's like, oh, this is my brother. His last name's different than mine. Oh, what do you mean? Like, if he's, like, in school, I'm like, oh my goodness, you'll have to tell this teacher that we're siblings. But I kind of had, like, FOMO. Like, I remember when I was in school, when teachers were like, oh, are you related to so-and-so? Based off their last name. Whereas some teachers may have knew my sister, but they wouldn't have guessed we were sisters because we didn't have the same last name. Does that make sense? Like, and my brother's not gonna be like, oh yeah, my sister, you're gonna know my sister based off my last name. Yes, they'll know my other sister, who has the same last name as him, because they're related to the same dad, you know? I feel like I'm getting confusing, and I apologize. But, yeah. It is a little confusing when we have different last names. Also, another weird scenario that's kind of funny is my sister Lexi and my brother Wrigley are the same age, and they share a sister, but they're not related. Which is really funny when they, like, obviously they go to the same school. They know each other. They have mutual friends. And so it's so funny hearing them trying to explain how they share a sister, but they're not related. Because they aren't. They have different parents. But I am the tie between the two. So that's always fun. But yeah, that's kind of my take on being an older sister. I know that probably wasn't the most positive thing. Obviously, there is positives to being an older sister. Like, I love hearing all the gossip about their friends. I love hearing when my sister shares with me her little secrets. Like, or when my sister got her first job, she called me over and she's like, I need your help picking out an outfit. And I was like, oh my goodness, I am honored that you called me. I'll be right over. And I helped her pick her outfit for her first day of work and also her first day of school. Like, it's so crazy. And then also watching her go to her bus stop on her first day. Oh my goodness. It's insane. And I can't believe that she is like becoming a young woman. It's insane. And I couldn't be more proud of her. I helped her and my younger brother, more my younger brother than her, but like figure out their schedules for high school. Insane. She is so smart, you guys. So smart. I remember her sending me her schedule, and I was like, oh my goodness, that class was so hard. I had such a hard time with it. Are you sure you want to take that? And then I remember this girl's literally a genius, and I basically was barely passing all through high school. I wasn't the smartest in a lot of categories, but this girl, she is determined. When she finds something that she wants to do, there's no one stopping her. And I do admire that about her so much. But I just love being an older sister sometimes, you guys. It's so nice. And I love them. I love them so much. Some of you may be wondering, or maybe you're not wondering. Basically, I am, but I'm not at the same time, an only child. Now, what I mean by that is I am my mom and my dad's only child, essentially. So when they were married, I was their only kid. And that has definitely been something people get really confused about. And they're like, oh, how is that? Well, I don't know anything else. Like, sometimes do I wish I had a sibling that had the same situation as me, was going through the same stuff as me? Yes, I do. But also, like, this is just all I've ever known. You know? Like, there's literally nothing else that I know. And growing up, if your parents are divorced, you'll probably understand this a little bit more. But growing up, I had a schedule. And, like, sometimes I do wish that my siblings had the same schedule as me. Like, my sister Quinn, she had a schedule. And what I mean by schedule is going between your mom and dad's house. Who has you what day? For me personally, I remember growing up, my mom had full custody of me, like I mentioned earlier, and the dad got the air quotes visitation. That's what they called it in court, I guess. I don't know. That sounds really like scary. Like, my dad's on lockdown and he's getting visitation. Like, that's not what it was, but that's what they called it. I had a schedule growing up. It did change when I was in junior high, and then it kind of changed again when I got into high school and when I was getting older. So when I was a little baby, it was every other day and then every other weekend. And I remember finding that extremely hard to navigate. And it was also weird to explain to people, but it was also what was best for my parents and what they thought was best for me, so that they could get 50-50. My mom was really amazing in being like, I don't want to be the mom that obviously doesn't let my daughter have a relationship with her father. Like, that's her dad. So my mom and my dad made it a point to have 50-50 essentially, so that I wasn't missing out on those parent experiences, you know? And I am very blessed to have parents that are cordial and that are willing to like talk, because I know some people aren't blessed with parents that are mutual. I've heard horror stories, and I feel so bad, but I also feel so grateful to be able to have parents that never wanted to be like, oh, it's against mom, it's against dad. Like, my parents were very mutual with everything, and I am grateful for that. And then obviously, like, they got remarried, so I it's always funny explaining, yeah, I have 4 parents. And people are always like, what does that mean? Obviously nowadays divorce is kind of becoming normal, which is actually really sad, but I remember being a kid and having to explain to people and then not understanding. And I will say having divorced parents definitely made me grow up a lot faster, which can be a positive and a negative, as there is to every single situation ever out there. There's pros and cons. But I remember people being like, oh, how does that work? And I had to explain it to them, and they would be like, wow, I wouldn't have expected that from a 10-year-old. But yet again, I know nothing else. But now, being an adult, living on my own, it doesn't, like, define me. I remember being a kid, I kind of let it define me, being a child of divorce. And I was told that I make it my personality a little bit too much, and I shouldn't let it define me. I shouldn't let it dictate on how I live my life. Obviously, with certain things. Oh, if I'm planning something in the future, whose house am I going to be at? Whose permission do I essentially have to ask for? You know, like, oh, I'm going on a trip with my dad's family, but it's on my mom's week, or vice versa. Like, obviously there were some areas that it did have a little bit of control over, but obviously not to the point where it was, like, too much. But I remember when people were like, oh, tell me about your family. And I would be like, I have 2. Which family do I choose? That was definitely hard trying to navigate, especially as a child, especially when kids aren't super nice in, like, elementary school and middle school. So I remember having 2 friends in elementary school. One of them, she had been like a baby when they got divorced. I remember us definitely bonding over that. And then I remember another friend, he came to me and he was like, my parents are getting divorced. And my mom said that she thinks that we should talk about it if I ever need to. I remember being such a brat. I was such a brat sometimes. And I was like, okay, and, like, whatever. But obviously down the road, we have grown up. We're still friends. We, like, would talk about it. And it was nice having friends and other people in my life that have experienced it. Obviously, it's different with every person because not all divorces are the same. But yeah, it's definitely something that I have tried to not let it define my life, but also it's kind of hard because my family is my world, and I am so blessed to have 2 families combined with extended family. Like, I have so many cousins, aunts, uncles, like, grandma, grandpas. Like, I got 4 pairs of grandparents, you guys. Do you know how awesome that is? Do you know how blessed I am to have so many grandparents? You just have to look at the positives, for sure. Okay, enough about talking about divorce, because who likes that? But also, sometimes it's needed. Anyways, being moved out is definitely a struggle, like I mentioned before. It's hard not being around my family all the time. And I've realized that I need to make it more of a priority. Obviously, when I lived at home, I wasn't making it that big of a priority because I lived with them. I would see them every day. But now, I need to make it more of a priority because I'm not there every day. I'm missing out, technically. Like, my brother, he was going to Trek. I knew he was going to Trek. We had talked about it. I was so excited for him to go. If you don't know what Trek is, it's a part of the LDS church. It's like where they go and be pioneers for a couple days. I know that sounds weird if you're not LDS, but if you want to learn about it, you can go down that rabbit hole yourself. I'm not going to explain. But anyways, I knew he was going to Trek, and I low-key forgot what day he was going, and then my mom sent me a picture and said, oh, Wrigley's off to Trek. And I was like, oh my goodness, I totally forgot. And I was like, low-key kind of sad that I didn't remember. It wasn't that big of a deal. Like, he was, like, he didn't need a big, grand send-off, obviously. Like, he's just going to a church camp for a couple days. But, like, oh, I totally forgot because I wasn't there. You know? Anyways, I love my family, you guys. My family is just about everything to me. Talking about grandparents, I want to mention somebody really special to me. My Nana is my dad's mom, so my grandma, but I call her Nana. She is somebody that is so precious and amazing and so special to me. I was the first grandchild for her and my papa, so I definitely have a very special bond with her. There's so many pictures of like me being in her kitchen sink. She's giving me a bath. I remember being at their house all the time. My dad did live with them for a period of time when I was a kid. So like that was my home, you know. Obviously I don't remember that too well, but I remember being there watching E.T. for the first time, and E.T. came out of the bushes and I freaked out and ran to their room. Like, my Nana is somebody that is very, very dear to me. We actually go to lunch once a week. We've kind of made that a ritual. And this is my invitation to you to hang out with your grandparents, because I know sometimes dealing with old people can be hard. Dealing with grandparents can be hard. Don't worry, I've had my experiences having to deal with my grandparents and it not being so much of a positive experience. I love them to death and I'm not saying anything negative about them. This is my invitation to you to go to lunch with your grandparents, because they've lived their life. They have so much life experience and knowledge, and also they just need somebody to hang out with, you know? My papa, my grandpa, her husband, he did pass away when I was about 8 or 9 years old. We were also very, very close because, yes, I was the first grandchild. So we did have that really special bond. I miss him every single day. I remember we had this, mutual obsession with Hershey's chocolate. So I will, from time to time, get a plain Hershey chocolate bar. And it's my favorite thing. Basically, this is your reminder that your family is all you really got sometimes. And give them a text, give them a call, hang out with your younger siblings, make them a priority. And your older siblings too, obviously. Also, shout out to my amazing mom. I am so blessed to have her. I definitely could make a whole other episode about her. And I definitely will. Maybe she'll be a guest on this podcast if she's up for it. But yeah, she has always been the one person that is consistently by my side, and we call each other our rocks. Like, she was my rock, I was her rock. She's just the greatest mom, and she's my best friend. I love her, and she's amazing. And I'm also so grateful for my dad. My dad has always known how to make me laugh, and he has given me so many hobbies and so many fixations. Like I mentioned in my last episode, we're a big lover of movies, books, music, driving. My dad tried to get me to learn how to drive a stick. You guessed it, didn't go well. Definitely killed it about 700 different times for sure. But anyways, you guys, that's it for today's episode. I'm so glad that you spent your time here with me. And I love my family. Shout out to them, to every single person. And if you have any questions or anything that you want to know a little bit more about, give me a DM. Go follow me at the Pep Talk Podcast on Instagram. Go follow me at Izzy Ross on Instagram and TikTok. I will see you guys next week. Bye.